Hello students, I am Dr. Garima Siag, Assistant Professor of Public Administration. Earlier we discussed the relationship of PM with President as the head of the Council of Ministers. Now we will discuss how the PM works as an integral part of Parliament. It is the process of it is in continuity with the previous lecture, and we are discussing the powers of PM. So, as an integral part of Parliament, Parliament is what? Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, together known as Parliament, and President is already an integral part of Parliament. So we have parliamentary democracy, and in parliamentary form of government, there are two executive. One is nominal, that is president, and another is real executive, which we are discussing, the PM. So, as the integral part of parliament, because PM is the leader of the majority party in the Lok Sabha, and he is expected to provide leadership in the house. भारत में जो प्रधानमंत्री है लोकसभा का नेतृत्व करता है, और लोकसभा में जो बहुमत दल का नेता होता है वही प्रधानमंत्री बनता है. आफ्टर कंसल्टेशन विद द कैबिनेट, पीएम एडवाइसेस द प्रेसिडेंट टू समन द हाउस एंड टू प्रोक द सेशन. कैबिनेट से कंसल्टेशन करने के बाद, लेकिन ये ज़रूरी भी नहीं है, इसमें ज़्यादातर पीएम की खुद की विश होती है. तो पीएम जो है प्रेसिडेंट को समय समय पे कब हाउस को समन करना है, बुलाना है, कब उसे स्थगन करना है, तो इन सब चीज़ों के लिए पीएम जो है राष्ट्रपति को कहता है. यानी कि जितने भी पार्लियामेंट्री जो वर्क होते हैं उसमें पीएम बहुत हद तक प्रेसिडेंट को एडवाइस करता है. Next one is that PM is obliged to resign on account of losing the support of the majority in the Lok Sabha. The President may refuse his advice to dissolve the House if an alternative government can be formed. अगर ऐसा लगता है कि जो प्रेसिडेंट को ऐसा लगता है कि जो PM जो एडवाइस दे रहा है वो इसलिए दे रहा है क्योंकि उसका जो बहुमत है लोकसभा में वो खो चुका है, he is losing his support in the Lok Sabha, then President can refuse, but in normal conditions, President have to accept all the advices regarding the summon of the Parliament, power of the session, etc. PM also sees the proceedings of the Parliament are conducted with dignity and decorum. Dignity और decorum, अनुशासन और एकता से काम हो रहे हैं पार्लियामेंट में, ये भी एक तरीके से PM की रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है. After that, members of the parliament may behave in an unruly manner, or mediation of the PM can save the house from such much embarrassment. It's the duty of the PM. PM is also an integral part of the process of legislation. Legislation is what? Law-making process is legislation, and all the important bills emanate from the cabinet. All the important bills are discussed before the cabinet, and it is the policy framework, it is the future criteria, whatever wants the PM regarding the nation's future advancement, future direction. And policy is what? Policy is the future framework of any target, whatever we want to achieve in our life, whatever we want to achieve for our nation. So policy is the future points of the target. So he guides the bill through the various stages in the house. He, together with the PM, prepares a tentative program for the Lok Sabha for each week as well as for each day, schedule legislations in the daily program, allocate priorities to the bill that have to be introduced, and for this purpose also participate in the business advisory committee of the house. So शासन की जो भी नीतियां हैं, मुख्य कार्यों की जो घोषणा है लोकसभा में प्रधानमंत्री ही करता है, और लोकसभा के जो सदस्य हैं जो भी हैं कोई भी गंभीर प्रश्न पूछते हैं तो उनके जो उत्तर हैं वो भी प्रधानमंत्री ही देता है. और he is the leader of the majority party. The PM must also try to win cooperation and support of the opposition, because he have to work for the country, and he have to he must also try to win support and cooperation from the opposition. It's so difficult, but he have to work on it. He must pay attention to the opinions, demands, grievances and reactions of the opposition. He comes face to face with the opposition in the parliament during the question hour. और लोकसभा के जो सदस्य गंभीर प्रश्न पूछते हैं, उनके जो प्रश्नों के जो उत्तर हैं ज़्यादातर प्रधानमंत्री ही देते हैं. और much of his prestige depend on his performance during the question hour, because through question hour and through no confidence motion, all these motions, PM is made responsible, is made accountable in front of country. Next one point is the PM and his party. So PM plays a crucial role in strengthening and keeping his party, because he is the leader of his party, and he have to maintain an alert hold over all the party organizations at the center, regional and local level. The strength of the party lies in its mass base. Therefore, efforts must be made to strengthen the party at the grassroots level. So PM also made such type of policies, programs to how can he strengthen the party at the grassroots level. He also ensured that party members carry out the policies and programs of the government faithfully. He can use his office status and authority to keep the rank and file and discipline in check. For these reasons, the PM can often does keep the post of the party president to himself, so that he can work in continuity or in a smooth manner. Unchallenged leadership in the various committees of the party and its various broad helps in keeping his position intact. So, strong the hold of the PM over his party, we know that his fate is also tied up with the party, and a broken party or disgruntled party can soon break up, and it is not helpful for the country or obviously to himself. And sincere and continuous efforts must be made by him, because a weak party or sooner or later brings out the collapse of the government. But if a majority, he is the leader of the majority party in the Lok Sabha, it is very easy and smooth for maintaining this strength and maintaining his position intact. But in coalition regime, the Indian Prime Minister experiences limitations in the exercise of his leadership, because he has to depend on so much personalities, so much parties, and PM can't select his own members of the coalition partner for the coalition for the formation of Council of Ministers. So biggest problem arises when the coalition government is in power, but if he is a leader of the majority party, he can smoothly work, he can maintain an alert hold, and he can strengthen his party. So this is the relationship of PM with his party. After that, the next point is that eco-financial management. PM's power regarding the eco-financial management that he have to work in close collaboration with the finance minister, and the budget, the important money bills are prepared under the close supervision and scrutiny of the PM. Budget is what? The income and expenditure part is a budget. Article 112 talks about the budget. So all the important money bills, budget are prepared under the close supervision of the Prime Minister. He is the chairman of the Planning Commission. Earlier it is Planning Commission. Now after 2015, Niti Aayog, National Institute for Transforming India, Niti Aayog is now the body. He is the chairman of the Niti Aayog, and he himself can design, guide the formulation of programs for the economic development of the nation. जैसे एग्जाम्पल है, इंदिरा गांधी ने 20 पॉइंट प्रोग्राम बनाया था, या राजीव गांधी ने जवाहर रोजगार योजना. ये कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स हैं जो कि PM के जो जिन इन प्रोग्राम्स की वजह से ये पीएम जाने जाते हैं. तो द प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैज़ अ इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल टू प्ले इन द नेशनल डेवलपमेंट काउंसिल. पीएम इज द चेयरमैन ऑफ द एनडीसी. फंक्शंस एज अ हाई पावर कंसल्टेटिव बॉडी विच coordinate the policies and programs of the state comprising the Indian Union. So all the policies regarding the financial and economic policies, budget, money bills, because PM is the real chief executive of the country, and all the financial aspects, all the financial programs, policies, everything is in the mindset of the PM, because he have to work, because he is the leader of the country, and all the powers he enjoys through by the president. Indirectly he enjoys all the powers. International relations. So prime minister is the chief representative of the nation. As you know, every time all the foreign countries, PM, president, they we saw in the newspapers, we heard in the TV that they are coming and making some agreements with the PM. So and same vice versa, this is done by our country PM. So he participate in national, international conferences, pays official visit to foreign countries, maintain relationship with the UN and other international organization. और वार्ता करता है, negotiate with the heads of the state, sign treaty and agreements, advises the president to declare war and conclude peace, advises the president to grant or withhold recognition to nation. So it is very very also depends on the PM personality, and it is his duty to represent the nation of the to represent our nation in front of other countries. So he has to maintain a very close collaboration with the Ministry of Defense and Ministry of External Affairs. Obviously, Ministry of External Affairs deals with the foreign international relationships. So he maintains a very close collaboration with Ministry of Defense and Ministry of External Affairs. Sometimes look east policy, you heard about look east policy, and Nehru की जो policy थी पंचशील एक्सेट्रा, अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी की जो पॉलिसी अलग अलग. तो जितने भी पीएम हैं उनकी रेस्पेक्टिव जो उनकी कुछ उनका जो पर्सपेक्टिव होता है कि वो फॉरेन रिलेशन किस तरह से और किस लेवल पे मेंटेन करना चाहते हैं. तो ये इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन जो मेंटेन करने का जो काम है, प्रेसिडेंट भी जो वर्क करता है, वो सभी पीएम की गाइडेंस में किए जाते हैं. आफ्टर दैट status during emergency. So status we know that all the emergency powers like that national emergency, president rule, financial emergency, मतलब article 352, 356 or 360 deals with these Indian president emergency powers. Or these emergency powers, as we know, president is a nominal executive and prime minister is a real executive. So these powers are generally exercises by the PM. President is abide by the advice of the PM, makes a proclamation to that effect. Article 352, emergency can be imposed in the whole India and part of it. पूरे देश में या हमारे देश के किसी एक पार्ट में आर्टिकल 352 जो है उसकी एमरजेंसी को इम्पोज किया जा सकता है. इफ़ द प्रेसिडेंट इज सेटिस्फाइड दैट ए ग्रेव एमरजेंसी एग्जिस्ट वेयर बाय द सिक्योरिटी ऑफ इंडिया और पार्ट देयर ऑफ इज थ्रेटन बाय द वॉर और एक्सटर्नल एग्रेशन और आर्म्ड रिबेलिएशन. तो आर्टिकल 352 कब इम्पोज किया जा सकता है? जब ऐसा लगे कि वॉर होने वाला है, युद्ध होने वाला है किसी कंट्री से, या कोई एक्सटर्नल जो भी एग्रेशन हो सकता है, या सशस्त्र जो आर्म्ड रिबेलिएशन है वो हो गया है. तो उस वजह से इन 3 कारणों से हो सकता है. तो आर्टिकल 352 जो है इस एमरजेंसी से डील करता है. तो आर्टिकल 356 जो है वो है प्रेसिडेंट रूल, यानी कि किसी पर्टिकुलर स्टेट में इस तरह की सिचुएशंस आ गई हैं तो उस पर्टिकुलर स्टेट में आर्टिकल 356 इम्पोज करके वहाँ पे प्रेसिडेंट रूल इम्पोज किया जा सकता है। यानी कि 356 जो है, एमरजेंसी कैन बी डिक्लेयर इफ द प्रेसिडेंट ऑन रिसिप्ट ऑफ अ रिपोर्ट फ्रॉम द गवर्नर ऑफ अ स्टेट and he is satisfied that a situation has been arisen in the state government, and the state government is not carried on in accordance with the provisions of the constitution, then article 356 can be imposed by the president. And actually the article 356 imposed by the PM, and sometimes दिस आर्टिकल सबसे ज़्यादा जो एमरजेंसी जो प्रोविज़न का दुरुपयोग हुआ है वो आर्टिकल 356 का हुआ है। इसके बाद है आर्टिकल 360 जो जिसे हम फाइनेंशियल इमरजेंसी कहते हैं, और ये जो फाइनेंशियल इमरजेंसी है ये अभी तक हमारे देश में अभी तक लगी नहीं है और नहीं लगनी चाहिए। तो ये भी जो है तब होता है जब प्रेसिडेंट इज सेटिस्फाइड दैट अ सिचुएशन हैज़ अराइजन वेयर बाय द फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी और क्रेडिट ऑफ इंडिया इज थ्रेटन्ड. So it has never been imposed in India so far. So article जो 352 है and 356 are more known for the misuse rather than their correct use. तो आर्टिकल 352 और 356 जो है 360 तो अभी तक कभी लगा नहीं और लगना भी नहीं चाहिए, और 352 और 356 जो है उसका थोड़ा मिसयूज़ भी हुआ है. दिस डजेंट मीन दैट द सिचुएशंस ऑफ जेन्यून नेसेसिटी वर नेवर देयर. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि हमेशा ही इनका गलत यूज़ हुआ है. जब वॉर हुआ था पाकिस्तान के साथ 1971 में, और चाइनीज़ एग्रेशन हुआ था 1962 में, और ये इन सब इम्पॉर्टेंट टाइम में जो है आर्टिकल 352 का यूज़ किया गया था. और ये जो एमरजेंसी पावर्स हैं ये पीएम जो है प्रेसिडेंट के साथ प्रेसिडेंट से इम्पोज करवाता है और पीएम इन पावर्स को यूज़ करता है. अब हम लेट अस कंक्लूड वॉट एवर वी डिस्कस और टॉक अबाउट द पावर्स ऑफ द पीएम. सो इंडियन प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑक्यूपाइज अ पोजिशन ऑफ एक्सेप्शनल एंड overwhelming authority and is for all the purpose he is a real chief executive. The power listed are by far a modest appreciation of the PM position. Because he is the head of the state, he is endowed with such abundant powers as no other constitutional ruler in the world possess. Indian PM is a very very powerful person, and he have to make the best of the office because the office is necessarily what the holders choose to make of it. Whatever the party in power, whosoever has filled the post of the PM, it has been observed that there has been a growing tendency towards centralization in the decision making. Sometimes जो PM है वो एक मिनिस्ट्री अगर होम मिनिस्ट्री या फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री भी अपने पास रख ले तो उसके बाद तो वो बहुत ही पावरफुल. पीएम के बाद जो है अगर किसी इंपॉर्टेंट पर्सन का नाम लिया जाए तो वो होम मिनिस्टर ही होता है. तो if he works if he take over some more one or more portfolio under him, then it's a growing tendency towards centralization of power. So PM should be politically unchallenged in his party. His control over other ministries and departments to the mechanism of monitoring can be highly penetrating. As India gains maturity in the democratic functioning, the need is to let a culture of decentralization, autonomy coupled with a deep sense of accountability to various level percolate. जो हम अब अपना आंसर लिखेंगे तो हम इस चीज़ को अपने जो पावर्स हैं पीएम की उसके साथ डिस्कस करते हैं. हम इस चीज़ को कर सकते हैं कि जो इन केस द पीएम शुड बी पॉलिटिकली अनचैलेंज्ड इन हिज पार्टी, हिज कंट्रोल ओवर अदर ministries and departments through the mechanism of monitoring can be highly penetrating. As India gains maturity and democratic functioning, the need is to let a culture of decentralization and autonomy. तो पावर का विकेंद्रीकरण होना चाहिए, स्वायत्ता ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा दी जानी चाहिए. इस तरह से हम अपने आंसर को कंक्लूड कर सकते हैं. The Prime Minister role as a chief executive of the nation can be strengthened only if he is supported by a team of self-motivated and responsible ministers and other functionaries. Obviously, it's a very, very basic thing that a team support self-motivated and responsible ministers and other functionary is a basic requirement, and it is very helpful to keep his power, keep his position intact. So because he is the real chief executive and he have to work for the country. So जो PM है उसको एक रियल चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव और एक जो अबंडेंट पावर्स हैं, इतनी शक्तिशाली जो पावर्स हैं PM के साथ, इन सभी को एंजॉय करने के लिए इन सभी उसे एक टीम वर्क, एक अच्छे सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड रिस्पॉन्सिबल मिनिस्टर्स की ज़रूरत होती है. So you can conclude this, and whatever questions you can ask me on the WhatsApp group. Thank you.